Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of GCSE Mathematics, and today's lesson is about BODMAS. As you may already know, BODMAS is an important topic in GCSE, so let's get started. So what is BODMAS? The BODMAS rule is an acronym to help remember the correct order of mathematical operations in a calculation where there are more than one operation is present. As you can see, the BODMAS rule says that certain operations has precedence or priority over the other operations. So that's why it says there should be a correct order to be followed in handling those operations. What if we do not follow any order? Let's look into it with an example. Here I have taken a calculation which is 13 minus 3 multiplied by 4 plus 2. As you can see three operations here, which is subtraction, multiplication and addition. So without following any rule, if we prioritize according to how we feel is easy for us or right for us, so let's prioritize the subtraction first, which is 13 minus 3 is equivalent to 10 multiplied by 4 is 40 plus 2 becomes 42. That is one answer. Secondly, if I prioritize multiplication here, in that case 3 multiplied by 4 is 12, 13 minus 12 becomes 1, 1 plus 2 becomes 3. That is our second answer. And what if we prioritize addition here? So in that case 4 plus 2 becomes 6, 13 minus 3 becomes 10, 10 multiplied by 6 becomes 60. So as you can see, for the same problem, by altering the order of operations, we have arrived at three different answers. So it's pretty confusing, isn't it? So to avoid this confusion, mathematics has stated a standard rule to be followed when doing these operations. Now let's compare it by following the rule of BODMAS. So as you can see, 13 minus 3 multiplied by 4 plus 2. So among these operations, according to BODMAS, multiplication has the highest priority. Therefore, we need to be doing that first. So 3 multiplied by 4 is 12. And we are left with subtraction and addition. So they are both in the same level. They can be done simultaneously, yet the BODMAS rule says we need to follow left to right. Therefore it goes 13 minus 2 becomes 1, 1 plus 2 becomes 3. So the correct answer is 3. So you can try this BODMAS. Most of the scientific calculators too work according to BODMAS, so you can try it with your calculator. Let's understand the BODMAS rule in detail. As you can see, BODMAS. BODMAS. B stands for brackets, O stands for order of, D stands for division, M stands for multiplication, A stands for addition, and S stands for subtraction. So when it comes to brackets, as you can see, there are three types of brackets. Number one is parentheses, number two is curly brackets, number three is square brackets. So even among these brackets, the priority goes to the parentheses first. Second priority goes to the curly brackets, and third priority goes to the square brackets. So you need to follow the order even among these brackets. Secondly, the order of. In this category, you have four sections. Either it can be fraction, percentage, square root, or indices, or to the power of. So if you get any of these sections, you need to sort them first before moving on to the next operation. Next one is division and multiplication. So division and multiplication, they do not have precedence over the other, or they do not have priority over the other. They are in the same level. You can handle them simultaneously, but you need to follow the left to right rule. That means whatever it is in the left, you need to do first and systematically move on to the right. In the same way, addition and subtraction. They too do not have a precedence over the other or priority over each other. They are in the same level and can be handled simultaneously. But you still have to follow the left to right rule. That means whatever is in the left should be done first and systematically moved to the right. Let's apply this BODMAS rule into a mathematical problem and see how it works. I have chosen here 12 questions which can best explain BODMAS. Let's go one by one. The first one says evaluate 10 multiplied by 5 minus 4 plus 2 whole thing squared plus 6 divided by 3. So according to BODMAS, which one or which operation should you be doing first? So according to BODMAS, we need to sort the brackets first. Therefore, 4 plus 2 is equivalent to 6. And as you can see, secondly, there is power to the 6 which needs to be sorted. And always remember, in the order of section, we knew that the power or indices needs to be sorted secondly. So 6 squared means 6 multiplied by 6, which is equivalent to 36. Now we are left with four operations: multiplication, subtraction, addition and division. So among them, as you can see, according to BODMAS, division and multiplication has a higher priority. They both can be done simultaneously, but yet we need to follow the left to right rule. So if we follow the left to right rule, 10 multiplied by 5 is equivalent to 50. So that is in the leftmost corner. Secondly, 6 divided by 3 is equivalent to 2. Now we have sorted both of them. Now we are left with subtraction and addition. And according to BODMAS, they too do not have priority over each other. You can sort them simultaneously, yet you need to follow the left to right rule. So from left, we will move on. 50 minus 36 becomes 14 plus 2 makes 16. So the answer is 16. Here is the second problem which says expand and simplify, which is 1800 divided by 10, open curly brackets, open parenthesis, 12 minus 6, close parenthesis, plus open parenthesis 24 minus 12, close parenthesis and close curly brackets. Now here, according to the BODMAS rule, which is the parenthesis has highest priority. So the parentheses need to be sorted before we sort the curly brackets. So within the parentheses, it says 12 minus 6, which is 6, plus 24 minus 12 in the second parenthesis, which is 12. Now we have sorted the parentheses. The second priority goes to the curly bracket. So within the curly bracket, it says 6 plus 12, which makes 18. And then again, the 10 multiplied by 18, which brings 118 here. Now we have sorted the brackets. Now we have left with only one operation, that is division. So 1800 divided by 180 gets 10, and the 10 is the final answer. Let's look into the fourth problem, which says evaluate 6 squared plus 13 whole thing divided by 7 plus 5 multiplied by 3 minus 2. So in this problem, there is a fractional part which needs to be sorted first. So we need to assume this fractional part as a hidden bracket. So in the fractional part, 6 squared, so there is a power to the 6 which needs to be sorted. So 6 squared means 6 multiplied by 6, which is 36, plus 13 becomes 49. This 49 is divided by 7, right? So as you can see, 7 plus 5 multiplied by 3 minus 2. So among them, which has the most priority? According to BODMAS, the multiplication has the most priority. Therefore, 3 multiplied by 5, which is 15, should be done first. And now we are left with addition and subtraction, where you can do it simultaneously, but you need to follow the left to right order. So if you follow the left to right order, 7 plus 15 becomes 22, minus 2 becomes 20. So the final answer is 20. Here we have another problem which says simplify 9y divided by 3y minus 2y plus 10. Here, as you can see, there is a fractional part, so which acts as a hidden bracket. So 9y divided by 3y, which means according to algebraic rules, y divided by y gets cut off and 9 divided by 3 becomes 3. So now we have sorted the parentheses and we are left with 3 minus 2y plus 10. So according to algebraic rules, we need to rearrange the elements of same kind, which means 3 and 10 are numbers, so we are rearranging 3 plus 10 together and minus 2y is as it is. So 3 plus 10, we can add them together and which becomes 13, and we cannot add different elements as you know already, and 13 minus 2y is the final answer. Let's move to the problem 6, which says simplify x minus 2 open brackets x plus 3x close brackets plus x squared. So here as you can see, if we are applying BODMAS rule here, there are two ways that you can do. One is you can sort what is within the bracket and then you can carry on with the rest of the rules, or else you can multiply by the outer value and we can sort the bracket. So the first method, x minus 2 multiplied by x, which is minus 2x, and minus 2 is multiplied by plus 3x, which plus and minus gets minus, and 2 into 3 becomes 6x, plus x squared remains as it is. Now according to algebraic rules, you can add x minus 2x, which becomes minus x, the plus and the minus gets cut off, and minus 6x plus x squared remains. Now here again, minus x and minus 6x can be added together, and which makes the minus 7x and plus x squared. That is one method. According to the second method, take a look at what is inside the bracket, which is x plus 3x. So we can add, according to algebraic rules, we can add x and 3x, which will make 4x. Right, we can do that way, and then we can multiply by minus 2 and complete the process of parentheses, sorting the parentheses. Now here in that case, x minus 2 into 4x becomes minus 8x. Remember, minus is multiplied by plus becomes minus. Minus 2 is multiplied by plus 2 plus 4x becomes minus 8x plus x squared. Again, according to algebraic rules, we have x minus 8x, which means minus 7x plus x squared. So you can see in both ways the answer comes as correct, but in both ways we have followed BODMAS. Let's look into the problem 7, which says calculate open parenthesis 2 squared plus 6 whole thing squared multiplied by 4 minus 8. Here too we need to follow the BODMAS rule. According to BODMAS rule, we need to sort the parentheses where you have 2 squared, which makes 4. 4 plus 6 becomes 10. And then 10 has a power which is 2, which means 10 multiplied by 10, which makes 100. Now here 100 multiplied by 4 minus 8. So we have multiplication and subtraction left. So according to BODMAS, multiplication has a higher precedence. Therefore 100 multiplied by 4 makes 400. Then minus 8 becomes 392. Let's look at the eighth problem, which says evaluate 5 plus 3 squared minus 6 multiplied by 4. So in this problem, as you can see, there are no brackets. Therefore, secondly, what do we have? We have a power here. So there is 3 to the power 2, or 3 squared is there. So we need to sort that one first, which means 3 multiplied by 3 becomes 9. Now we are left with addition, subtraction and multiplication. So according to BODMAS, which has the most priority, it's the multiplication. So we need to sort that one secondly. 6 multiplied by 4 becomes 24. And now we are left with plus and minus, which means addition and subtraction. Both are in the same level. You can do them both simultaneously. But as I told you, you need to follow the left to right rule. So following the left to right rule, 5 plus 9 makes 14 minus 24, which makes minus 10. So minus 10 is the answer. So let's work with the ninth problem, which says calculate open curly brackets open parentheses 16% of 750 close parentheses plus 30 close curly bracket divided by 50. Now this is a percentage related problem. So the first priority goes to the parentheses. We need to sort the parentheses first. As you can see, 16% of 750. So this can be sorted easily by either by simplifying method, or here I am using a direct method, which is 100%. So 75%, 750 is the 100%. So you can divide 750 by 100, which makes 1%, and multiplied by 16 gives you the 16%. So you get the 16% of 750. So 750 divided by 100 multiplied by 16. So 715 divided by 100 is 7.5, and multiplied by 16 becomes 120. And 120 again added by 30 makes 150, and divided by 50 gives number 3. So number 3 is the answer. Here we are now with the 10th problem, which says calculate 42 divided by 6 plus open parentheses 3 plus 4 close parentheses multiplied by 2 squared. Right, according to BODMAS, we need to sort the parentheses first, as you may know. Now 3 plus 4 becomes 7. And secondly, we have a power here which needs to be sorted. That means 2 to the power 2, which means 2 multiplied by 2 makes 4. Now we are left with a division and addition and the multiplication. So which has the more priority? As you know, division and multiplication has the priority, but they both need to be followed the left to right order. So 42 divided by 6 becomes 7, and 7 multiplied by 4 becomes 28. Now 7 plus 28 added together makes 35. So 35 is the final answer. Here we have the 11th problem, which says calculate 180 divided by open parenthesis 6 plus 3 multiplied by 8 close parenthesis minus 5. In the same way, we need to sort the brackets or the parentheses first. So even within the parentheses, there is addition and multiplication. So which has the more priority? The most priority goes to the multiplication. Therefore, 3 multiplied by 8 becomes 24. And then 24 plus 6 makes 30. Now we have sorted the parentheses. Now we are left with a division and a subtraction. So which one has the highest priority? Obviously the division. So 180 divided by 30 becomes 6, and then 6 minus 5 makes 1. So 1 is the answer. Here we are now with a square root related questions, which says simplify square root open parenthesis 17 plus 4 multiplied by 2 close parenthesis. So now according to BODMAS, even here we need to sort the parentheses first. So even within parentheses you need to there are two operations, which is addition and multiplication. We need to sort the multiplication first, as it is our priority. So 4 multiplied by 2, which makes 8, and then 8 added to 17, which makes 25. Now what is the square root of 25? Which is plus or minus 5. Right. So the answer is plus or minus 5.